You may know Sara Lane as the charming and witty actress who played Elizabeth Bennet in the hit TV series The Virginian. But did you know she started her career in her birthday suit? She was a baby model. That's right, she was born into a family of photographers and actors who decided to use their adorable daughter as their own personal muse. So stay tuned and get ready to be entertained by the incredible story of Sara Lane. Facts First presents Sara Lane of The Virginian started her career in the nude. Lane got her start in diapers. Sara Lane was born into a prominent showbiz family on March 12, 1949, in New York City. Her parents were actors Russell Lane and Sarah Anderson, who often used their daughter as their muse. She was featured in dozens of magazines because of her family's connections, as well as commercials, because she was a downright adorable and bubbly bundle of joy. And frequently, she would don nothing but her birthday suit. She even landed a role in a major motion picture before she said her first word. Lane moved to California with the family when she was 12 and attended Santa Monica High School. She continued to act in commercials and films, but also developed other interests like making clothes, making jewelry, and raising quarter horses. The latter hobby would be one that stuck with her throughout her life and became one of her most cherished passions. Being a child star isn't always easy. Experiencing fame and being plunged into the limelight at an early age can lead to numerous unfortunate side effects. Reportedly, Sara Lane's experience in school wasn't very enjoyable. She often missed classes or exams due to filming schedules, and she felt lonely and isolated from normal life. She struggled with self-esteem and identity issues, feeling insecure about her looks and talents. She later revealed she hated being famous because it made her feel like an outsider. She didn't enjoy the spotlight as a child either. She once said she didn't want to act, but she nearly needed money to support her hobbies. She also felt pressured by the expectations of others and by the competition in Hollywood. Because of this, she preferred to spend her free time with her family and friends or with her treasured horses. Lane's big break. Sara Lane landed her big break when producer William Castle saw her picture in a newspaper covering her participation as a semifinalist in a Miss Los Angeles teen beauty contest. Castle cast her as one of the teenage pranksters who get into trouble with Joan Crawford in the 1965 thriller I Saw What You Did. The film wound up being a success and subsequently launched Sara's career as a young starlet. She then joined the cast of The Virginian, one of the longest-running Western series on TV. The popular series aired from 1966 to 1970. In it, she played Elizabeth Granger, an orphaned girl who lived with her grandfather at Shiloh Ranch. She co-starred with James Drury and Doug McClure, who became like brothers to her, on and off screen. She did most of her own stunts on the show thanks to her skills as an equestrian. She also had romantic scenes with guest stars like Robert Redford, David Cassidy, and Kurt Russell. Her career declined. Sara's acting career after The Virginian ended was not very successful. She appeared in only 3 more movies: Schoolgirls in Chains, The Trial of Billy Jack, and Billy Jack Goes to Washington. These were low-budget productions that didn't receive much critical acclaim or commercial success. After failing to find continued success in Hollywood, Lane then retired from acting and co-founded the Havens Winery in Napa Valley with her husband, John Scott. There, they produced red wine blends that gained a solid reputation over time. In 2010, they sold the business to the Smith Anderson Wine Group. An avid equestrian. Sara had a lifelong love of horses. She owned 2 and was an expert rider. From an early age, she only saw acting as a means to an end. And it's because of this sentiment that she famously said she didn't want to act, but simply needed money for raising quarter horses. The only time she didn't do her own riding scenes on The Virginian was when the producer insisted on using a stunt double. This made her unique in the entertainment industry, as most actors relied on stunt doubles for dangerous or difficult scenes. She also impressed her co-stars with her courage and talent. She recently passed on. Sara Lane sadly died March 3, 2023, at her home in Napa Valley, California, after a 6-year battle with breast cancer. She was 73. Her death was mourned by many fans and fellow actors who remembered her as a talented and kind person. Don Quine, who played her brother on The Virginian, wrote on Facebook, quote, "How lucky I am to have been your big brother at Shiloh Ranch on The Virginian. You were always so sweet and kind and loving and fun and funny and smart and beautiful. I'll miss you terribly, but I know you are now free from pain and suffering." Mike Barnes, an editor at The Hollywood Reporter, mourned her death by tweeting, "R.I.P. Sara Lane." Unfortunately, there's not much information available about her funeral and burial. The only source we could find that mentions it is a Find a Grave memorial page that says burial details unknown. Lane's legacy is that of an actress who brought joy and warmth to millions of viewers who watched her on the Virginian. She left behind a successful winery business that she co-created with her husband. She was undoubtedly an inspiration for many young women who wanted to pursue their dreams in acting or other fields. Other cast deaths. Besides Sara Lane, several other cast members of The Virginian have also passed away in the years since the hugely successful and emblematic series ended. It starred James Drury as the title character, a ranch foreman in Wyoming. Drury was one of the few actors who stayed with the show throughout its run, along with Doug McClure, who played his friend in Cowboy Trampas. Drury died in April of 2020 at age 85 of natural causes. Doug McClure died in 95 at age 59 from lung cancer. Another prominent cast member was Lee J. Cobb, who played Judge Garth, the owner of Shiloh Ranch and the father of Betsy, played by Roberta Shore. Cobb was an acclaimed actor who had been nominated for 2 Oscars and originated the role of Willie Loman on Broadway. He left The Virginian after 4 seasons and died in 1976 at age 64. The Virginian's enduring legacy. The Virginian influenced countless other TV shows and films by setting a high bar for quality and realism in the Western genre. It also introduced complex characters who had moral dilemmas and personal conflicts, rather than stereotypical heroes and villains. Sara Lane, as Elizabeth Granger, helped contribute to the show's success by adding a feminine touch and a romantic interest for some of the male characters. She also represented the changing role of women in the late 19th century as she pursued her education and independence. The Virginian won 3 awards and 2 nominations during its run. It won 2 Golden Globe Awards for Best Television Series, Drama, in 1964 and 65, and 1 Western Heritage Award for Fictional Television Drama in 1970. It was also nominated for 2 Primetime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role, Continuing Character, in a Dramatic Series for Lee J. Cobb in 1963 and 64. Fans of the iconic Western can watch The Virginian online on various streaming platforms such as Starz Roku Premium Channel, Spectrum On Demand, Starz Amazon Channel, or the Freevee streaming channel. You can also catch it on Prime Video or Hulu. Sara Lane appeared in 105 episodes of the series from 1966 to 1970. She was known for her sweet and innocent personality and her love interest with Trampas. She's still remembered by fans of The Virginian as one of its most charming characters, and even though she's no longer with us, her legacy will live on. Now it's time to hear from you. Were you a fan of The Virginian? Who was your favorite character? Let us know in the comments section below.